After decent amount of action in the last couple of matches, we now enter the second half of the first round of the new Super League season. And we're going to kick things off in this double header as we have Hull FC, the faithful, hosting the Bradford Bulls at MKM Stadium in Hull, England. This is going to be very interesting to see how, obviously, with the merging of the leagues, of how Bradford go back in the top flight against a very well-established and historic club in Hull FC. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are, and welcome to the stream. And pretty interesting action that's happened in the last couple of days, particularly with the Super League. I mean, you had the results yesterday of, just go through, Warrington with a 10-point win over St Helens. You had the Lee Leopards almost with a result that would have got them top of the table with a decent win over the Leeds Rhinos, but a last-minute consolation try by the Rhinos has put them back, which now sees the Catalan Dragons temporarily at this point top of the table with a gutsy win over the Huddersfield Giants on just absolute terrible conditions. But now we're going to be doing the two matches here. It's going to be starting off with Hull FC versus the Bradford Bulls, and then immediately not immediately, but sort of like give it about 20 minutes, and then we transition over to do the Wakefield Trinity versus Toulouse Olympique. And yes, we've got a poll in the chat on who everyone thinks is going to win this game. I'm looking at the odds for the two games. We have a bit lopsided, leaning towards Hull FC and Wakefield getting the wins, but you never know. I don't know how big of an upset in terms of the betting market it was for York to get the result over Hull Kingston Rovers in the opening match. But yeah, you just don't really know. But essentially getting into now to the final 13 minutes, and yeah, this is going to be what the stream is going to look like. There's going to be no footage, unfortunately, so shown in this game. So this, unfortunately, is not going to be able to be shown. So if you're looking for that, that's it's just going to be how it is, unfortunately. But interesting thing that did happen in the afters of the match following Warrington and St Helens is what happened surrounding Jackson Hastings, where, just I'm trying to get the story as accurately as possible, is there was a Warrington fan, or just a fan in the stands, who was essentially acting like a buffoon and like around sort of near his family, and what seems like abusing Jackson Hastings to the point where it's like he kind of motioned that he was going to climb up into the stands. But the fan did get kicked out by stewards, so it's going to be pretty interesting to see how he does go, because Hastings, I mean, was very key for St Helens in that match despite the loss. I mean, he did kind of shaft their chances of the comeback when he late hit the Warrington fullback to eventually result in a 10 minutes in the bin. So be interested to see how all of that does play out. But yeah, we I guess we got to go through the teams now. It's pretty interesting looking sides, those teams. We're going to start off with Hull FC. We've got Will Price at fullback, with Harvey Barron and Lewis Martin on the wings, Zach Hardiker and Davey Litton in the centres. Callum Kemp and Aidan Cesar are the playmakers. Liam Knight and Harvey Hill are the props, with Amir Borra as the hooker. Joe Batchelor and Arthur Romano as the second row, with Yusuf Aiden as the lock. And you've got Cade Cuss, Brad Fash, Liggy Sal and Sam Lasoni as the interchange. Currently, I was just having a quick check, as there hasn't been an 18th man confirmed for Hull, so I have looked like a little bit on some of the scoring of the places which would have the lineup, but it just doesn't look like one has been named officially, as another vote's come in. But we've got one saying that Bradford could get their win in their return to the top flight. That'd be a pretty great result if that does come through. Just going to have a quick look to see if anything else has been confirmed of the 18th man. I'm still pretty certain it hasn't been, and it still hasn't, but we'll see who they're going to be taking on as we have the lineup for the Bradford Bulls. You've got Callum Akins at fullback, with Jaden Ockenbaugh and Connor Wynn, as the wings, with Hassan Masters and Wacker Blake in the centres. Joe Keys and Rowan Milnes as the playmakers. Ryan Sun and Logan Logan Lewis, I apologise, as the props, with Andy Ackers as the hooker, Dan Russell and Zach Fulton as the second row, with Joe Mellor as the lock. Mitch Suter, Ivan Skur, Aribi Doro, Ed Chamberlain are the interchange for the Bulls, with Elliot Paposhi as the 18th man. Injury replacement, so to see. So we'll see at some point if it does come into the new rule for the NRL of being like a 19-man sort of playing squad. So could see that down the line potentially for the Super League. But yeah, pretty interesting, especially when it comes to Bradford, with the, I guess, obviously being Australian, seeing the former NRL players in around there. I think Jaden Ockenbaugh in the RFL Championship last year was one of the top scorers. I think he was in like the top 5. I think he had something like 17 tries. It was either 17 or 21 tries he had last season, but more so leaning towards 17, if anyone's able to probably confirm that. I actually might just check that right now. But yeah, it's pretty decent stat there for Jaden Ockenbaugh, obviously a former Canterbury Bulldogs player. Yeah, it's I guess it's good to see players branching out, going over to England, doing well. It's also against the former team. I did not realise he played for Hull in 2024. I did not know that. So it's a bit of an interesting one. Yeah, it's good to see. I'm just trying to figure. Yeah, I can't find the official stats, but yeah. So still with the even split in the votes of who goes to win this game, as we're now coming down to the final 8 minutes before the start of the match. And just as another reminder, there is no game footage, unfortunately, going to be shown because, to be honest, I don't actually know what the copyright policy would be for the Super League. I know for the NRL it's pretty strict, but I guess knowing the history, knowing it's Sky, I don't want to mess with them. But yeah, 3 votes now in. Hull FC has now taken the lead. But yeah, it's pretty exciting match to say the least. And it's split down the middle. 4 votes now. This could be quite interesting to see how this one goes. But yeah, in the betting markets, it's like very one-sided in terms of who people think is going to get the win. I think it was like Hull FC are paying like $1.05, while Bradford are paying about $9, almost $10. Isaac, good to see you, man. Back from yesterday. Yeah, it was pretty interesting. Hopefully we get some good, decent matches as well here. I was at the NRL trials in Newcastle yesterday, and my team, the Newcastle Knights, played brilliantly. 28-0 loss to the Dogs, but the game was probably the most boring I've ever seen. And generally, I don't do it often, but I actually had to leave early because I was actually falling asleep. And you probably judge from my appearance when I'm in a locked-in position. I'm a bit hard to move, essentially. But yeah, it's going to be pretty good. I do have a little bit of, because you can obviously put bets on. I've got a little bit of one. I've got 2 players essentially to score because you can only have 2-legged multis or parlays. I don't know what they call it in England. I think like would accumulate be fit. Isaac chose Bradford. Yeah, good play. It'll be exciting to see Jaden Ockenbaugh supremacy coming in for the Super League. Hull are just not ready for it. But yeah, so I've got Will Price, of obviously former Knights player. I think could go over for a try as the fullback for Hull, and I've also got another one with Jaden Ockenbaugh. I think it's paying about 11 to 1 odds, so it's not too bad at all. Right, we need to start getting everything done properly and getting ready for the stream. We just need to get KO on because the stream would have started. Because barring a couple of games, they only have like about 5 minutes of beginning coverage for the Super League, and then it's like straight away into the match. Because I think because with the main match to kick off the round, which was York and Hull, there was like a whole hour beforehand, which is quite rare. So yeah, just one more reminder. Favorite football is Leeds United. Yeah, they're yeah, I've got a couple of people around here that, like, my mate's dad supports Leeds. He actually has like a bunch of clothes to give away because me and him are around similar sizes, and he was like, my mate was like, oh, my dad gave me a bunch of his old clothes. He's like, to see if it fits with anything. And one of them is like a proper like Leeds polo, and it's like, but it's not like distinctly Leeds. So and to be fair, he is a little bit of a tough bloke, so he could have been a hooligan in the 70s and 80s. So yeah, I'm bad juju in a sense, but yeah, Bradford's return to the top flight. Obviously, a very historic club. Two very historic teams. Decent looking crowds at MKM Stadium. Obviously, a ground share with Hull City. Getting mauled by the Tigers, if you will. But this is going to be... It's just brilliant. I feel like it's been a very good start for the Super League. I mean, this is probably the most like genuine locked-in attention I've had to look to it, but it just feels nice to see. So, just going through the lineups again here in the actual broadcast, and it's just, you know, Will Price, obviously formerly the Knights. I kind of wish we did keep him because he was all right. He just didn't really give him that much of a chance. It's just, I guess it's unfortunate, but I mean, there's Aiden Cesar, formerly of he was at the West Tigers at one point. Just trying to think of any other players, because I mean, I probably have got more to talk about with the Bradford team, as we're still about 3 minutes away from kickoff. Both teams still haven't come out onto the field yet. It was Bailey, number 22. Just pull it up here that they've just confirmed who is the injury replacement. It is a number 22 on the squad list, so I'm just going to look that up and get the full name for him, just so as we're all, I guess, aware if it does come in. I don't think any injury replacements have actually come into the match so far this season, so just in case. Hull FC was the squad number 22. It is Connor Bailey was the replacement. So yeah, Bradford Bulls with 4 Super League titles. They're highlighting Ryan Sutton as a player to watch in this. And for Hull FC, they've highlighted Sam Lasoni as a one to watch, but he is starting on the bench. So another vote's come in for the polls. We're going to be closing that quite soon. So if you want to get your opinion across, you got to get it in before the start of the match. If I actually am switched on to actually end it there, but yeah, 3-2 in favour of Hull FC taking this match. And but yeah, I mean, Sam Lasoni, obviously another former NRL player. I'm trying to think of who he played. I don't think he played for the Knights. Got another bit of a light show. What's everyone's opinion on light show? Because I know in terms of a footballing concept, people assign it as like utter woke nonsense. I don't know. I don't mind it. I think there is like some things that are like not as bad, but there's obviously utter ridiculous things like half and half scales. just casually. So Hull FC, who did Sam Lasoni play for? It sounds like definitely a Parramatta type of guy. But yeah, this is the first match with the Johnny Whiteley stand. Was renamed obviously former coach of Hull FC. So Sam Lasoni played for the Warriors and the Titans, and also formerly of the Leeds Rhinos. So here we go. Just waiting for both teams to come out here as the light show still going out on top. As don't mind the light shows. One thing I did see actually, and this is a bit off topic before both teams come out. My mates, Ed Sheeran's currently touring in Australia at the moment, and one of my mates went to the show. It was down in Sydney, and one of the songs, I forget which song it is, but it's just like a normal Ed Sheeran song. The stage had proper flames shooting out and stuff, like proper pyrotechnics, and I'm like, no Ed Sheeran song deserves all that proper massiveness. And here we go, both teams now have come out, and the pyro's coming out there. This is where pyro's appropriate, not for some Ed Sheeran song. I don't mind Ed Sheeran, but like, you don't need pyro in that. 6 votes now, and again, it's a 2/3 majority for Hull FC with the ball. So just close now to kickoff last reminder before the start of this, no game footage will be shown, unfortunately, because I don't want Sky coming putting a bullet in the back of my head. So it looks like the Bradford Bulls will be kicking off. They're going to be running screen right with Hull FC receiving first possession of the ball. So we should try switch over as we're now geared up and ready to go for the first of this double header. And we are going to end the poll now, so it is going to be the 2/3 majority of the faithful opening their season with a potential win. So here we go. We're just waiting for Bradford to kick the ball off, and we will be underway for the start of this matchup. Ref's probably still waiting for all the smoke from the pyrotechnics to get away, and we'll be underway. Marcus Grievous and Liam Moore, the referee and video referee for this matchup, kicked off, and we're underway as Hull get first possession of the ball. And run up the guts, and it gets brought down in on the inside the 10 for the first tackle. I just had to check to make sure that the mic was on, because there has been points where I haven't had it. Be interesting to see what type of momentum it is from the last couple of games we've seen. It's just try not to get rid of any type of any penalties, and just try to remain calm. So it might be a little bit cagey for the start, but it's a bit of a decent defensive set here so far by Bradford, as this is the 4th tackle for Hull, and they've only gone to just shy of their 30-metre line for the 4th tackle. And just like we said, an early penalty there as Hull FC get it on their 30-metre line. That's something that Bradford shouldn't really be doing. Cesar with the kick into touch. It's not going to go too far, and the ball will be picked up right on halfway. So a full set of 6, and a good chance possibly for the Faithful to get positioning to potentially get first points of the matchup. So first tackle get brought down 45 away from the try line, central of the field. They'll go to the left a little bit, but it's another run up the guts. It's the number 10 of Harvey Hill who gets brought down on Bradford's 40. Quick play, almost a bit of a high shot here, but Bradford are appealing for a knock on. Hasn't happened, so it remains 3rd tackle, 30 metres away from the try line here. Big gap opened up, but they just shut it off. But now 4th tackle, 20 away from the try line now here for Hull. They're going to spread it out to the left-hand side, trying to stretch out this line. They're going all the way out to their wing. But Lewis Martin will come more inward and gets brought down 10 metres out from the try line on the far left-hand side. Last tackle, kicked across to the other side. How's your bottle? Oh, it's almost a beautiful catch by Harvey Barron, but he loses it inside the goal mouth. And it's going to be Bradford who gets the ball, and they get brought out away from the try area, and it's no knock on, which is interesting. So now Bradford gets first crack at the ball, and they return to the Super League. Just only past their 10-metre line now for the 3rd tackle. But yeah, they just need to get a big, decent kick here, Bradford, to get some field positioning. They've only just gone past their 20 now, and they've only got about 20 metres here for their last tackle. The ball is kicked all the way back, and it will take a bounce on Hull's 30, and it's taken by Will Price. He gets brought down inside of the Hull 40 for the first tackle, as we're now about 3 minutes into this matchup. So it's really just going to be a measuring up here. I am noticing that Bradford's left wing is getting quite compact, so this could be a potential strategy of just Hull driving through the middle to then just flinging it out to their right and just seeing the lines. But they're going to their left-hand side at the moment here, Hull, and they're going to get brought down 30 metres away from their try line, as that's Lytton. He gets brought down for the last tackle, and it's a kick in the air by Will Price for the last. And it's taken there by the number 2 for Bradford Bulls, Jaden Ockenbaugh, who is bold. Did not expect that. He had beautiful, luscious dreadlocks when he was in Australia, but I don't know if this is a recent development, but you never know. But Offload there by Ockenbaugh. That looked like a forward pass there by Bradford, but the referees have not caught it. They're going down their left-hand side. They get past halfway here for the third tackle. This has been an alright set so far by the Bulls. Can they try and get some more? They're spreading it out to their right now. It's a bit all over the shop. No central drives at the moment. And they go down the... almost go down the right-hand side. Sure, they find a line. They get brought down 25 away from their try line now. From the try line. Last tackle for Bradford. It's a kick to the right-hand side. Ockenbaugh's running in. He's gone up for it. The ball's bobbled about. And it's the number 11, Dan Russell, who picks it up. And it's just sort of bubbled about. And he tries to go for the line. And it just gets put up short. They are reviewing this. So it's a no try, but it's video referee that's going to have a look into it. But I think it's more so going to be a possible knock-on by somebody. So high kick to the right-hand side, right near the goal mouth. Ockenbaugh, I feel like, might have knocked it backwards. And then Dan Russell's gone to try to score, but I don't think he gets the ball on the line. Or there's a... It's a great last tackle ditch by Hull to prevent Russell from grounding it. Oh, and this is a serious problem here. Jaden Ockenbaugh is down on the ground, and it looks like it's his right leg. They might be calling for a stretcher here. This could be quite serious, actually, for Jaden Ockenbaugh, and that's pretty good for my bet because I did have him to score. But, there's been no talking at the moment between the video ref. I don't know if they can hear, referee can hear it, or there's just been no communication. Here we go. So Ockenbaugh in that, no one touches it. So it does take a bounce off a Hull player's leg. Russell then picks up and tries to ground it, but then it's batted away in the last tackle ditch by Davey Litton to prevent a grounding for the try. So this will be very interesting to see how this does get ruled. Possible offside here maybe, but I don't know for which team. Okay, there we go. So it's no try, but it's an accidental offside by Hull FC. So the Bradford Bulls should be getting a penalty in a full set of 6 if they go for the try. So will be no try, but they've got a chance for field possession and a chance to then go over for the first try of the match. So, big developing news. Jaden Ockenbaugh, one of the wingers, it was one of the top try scorers in the RFL Championship. He was around 5th in that regard. Ockenbaugh is limping off the field when he was going up for the catch. I think his knees probably collided with the hip of the Hull player there trying to get for the ball. So, big unfortunate risk. But commentators talk about Ed Chamberlain possibly coming in as Bradford now take the full set of 6 now from the penalty to see if they can get the opening try of this matchup, as we have Mellor brought down 5 metres short of the line for the second tackle. The ball spread it out to the right. Is there any websites that I can watch it on? James, I'm not too sure, unfortunately. Maybe Kickzone, maybe streaming, but I'm not too sure. Flat ball, getting the offload off, and it's Wacker Blake who gets the try, and the Bradford Bulls take the lead. But yeah, in terms of other streams, I'm not 200% sure. I know on some betting sites you can watch it for free. But yeah, I'm not 100% sure. But I also think one of those ones is you need to bet. But yeah, I'm unfortunately of no help, James. But there we go. Wacker Blake, the former Parramatta Eel, gets the tries. Just a good flat pass out to one of the forwards for the Bradford Bulls. And he just sees Wacker Blake coming in, fends it off to his right, and Blake basically almost goes untouched and quickly grounds it and gets the opening try of this contest. So we're just waiting now for the conversion attempt. as Rowan Mills. This to make it a 6-0 lead for Bradford. Decently on the left-hand side, the positioning of this conversion attempt, and he slots it down the middle, and it's 6-0, 6.5 gone in this match up. There you go, Waka Blake getting over it. I mean, looks like possibly Ed Chamberlain's probably going to be coming onto the wing here for a very extended appearance with Ockenball's injury. Nice, Bradford are winning. Yeah, it's just good bit of pressure, I guess. And there's the kickoff, and Bradford are going to get brought down on their 10 for the first tackle as we now enter the 7th minute of this matchup. So, yeah, Ed Chamberlain on for Jaden Ockenball, the first interchange of this match. And who knows how long it's going to take before Ockenball comes back onto the field at any point. So just shy of the 30 for the third tackle for the Bulls. They're still sprinting around pretty evenly. As they're just going down the middle to try to find some space. It's an early kick, potential 40-20 attempt. But Will Price for Hull picks it up at the 20. And he'll get brought down on Hull's 30 for the first tackle. And just like that, it's a penalty here for Hull. Believe it might have been an offside. Marker's not square. So this will be get a decent kick and another decent field position for Hull to see if they could probably answer back with a try. So kicked in the touch now, 30 metres away from the try line for Hull. Just trying to get up the guts, and they're going to spread it out a little bit to the right-hand side, as it is the number... Well, a little bit of a dumping thing there, as Yusuf Aiden brought down 25 away from the try line now for the second tackle. Hull now trying to get up past the left as Cesar goes on a run by himself. And that's going to be a set restart here. Will Price goes for a grubber, and it's a set restart gone begging as Will Price goes for the spectacular. And it just has not worked as Bradford now regain possession. Second tackle, it's now on their 20-metre line. And Bradford's just trying to find anything really to do because they've not moved much at all so far throughout this match up. And fourth tackle now, only up to the fourth, and it's a set restart. So, been a couple of set restarts so far this game, but let's see if Bradford can get into potential try-threatening territory as Bradford go down short on the right-hand side, as that is Aikens. Spreading it down into the middle. They've got a lot of numbers on their right-hand side if they want to do it, but it's a penalty. A late shot has been done on the number 13 of Joe Mellor. And it's another penalty. And this is the type of stuff that neither team could really afford, especially Hull now with this 6-0 lead for the Bulls. But it's going to be... Well, it's a decent kick now. 20 metres out, a full set of 6 for Bradford. Can they increase their lead? Spreading it down now into the middle. Not going to try to go for anything spectacular as of yet. So try to work their way in as Fulton gets brought down 15 out from the try line. The ball spread it now into the middle as it's the number 10 of Lachlan Lewis. And the ball's popped out, and it's going to be a knock-on. So Hull have saved it. Is there a possible challenge? No. But Hull FC stopping a potential Bulls attack, and they'll get the ball inside of their 10. But yeah, this is going to be interesting to see how the stats are going, because it has been still quite even to an extent, so... Yes, I know. And here comes the scrum free, which is going to be set in by Kemp. And they'll go to the left, as that is Lewis Martin, who gets brought down on the 10-metre line for the first tackle for Hull. And Hull now trying to go up the guts as Lytton gets brought down inside of the 20. It does seem like each team, in terms of getting a set in the opposition half, has more so benefited off a set restart or a penalty. Not much running so far this set. It was on the 30. It's going to be an early fourth tackle kick for a possible 40-20. It's racing to the sideline, but it's stopped by Caleb Aikens of Bradford. And he will get brought down inside of the 20 for the first tackle for the Bulls. But yeah, I mean, wasn't too far away for a possible 40-20. Bradford now trying to just find any way to get some space. They're just being stagnant at the moment. They're inside the 30 for the third tackle. As Whacker Blake gets brought down just shy of the 40 for the fourth tackle. Could possibly get a set restart. They're appealing for an offside here of the number 10 of Harvey Hill, but not given. Last tackle here for the Bulls. And Will Price takes the last tackle catch on the 10, and it'll get wrapped up on the 20 for the first tackle for Hull. As we're now 12 and a half minutes gone in this matchup, still 6-0 to Bradford. So now Hull's just getting some meters here now. Third tackle, they're on their 40. And also big chase up tackle there by Zach Fulton. Fourth tackle now for Hull, just shy of halfway. And that's going to be Liam Knight, who gets brought down on Bradford's 40 for the last tackle. There's the kick high up into the air here to challenge Aikens. He takes it inside of the 10. And he'll get brought down just short of the 20-metre line for the first tackle for Bradford in this new set. 13 gone. Both teams kind of just really going through the paces, only really getting decent field positioning from a penalty and a set restart. But it's all been pretty even so far, barring the Whacker Blake try. The Bulls there going through the guts. Mellor gets brought down just shy of halfway for the third tackle. So this could be possibly an opening of a decent set. Oh, almost a line break through there for Zach Fulton, but he gets wrapped up and just past halfway for the last tackle. It's a high kick onto the left-hand side. Price comes in to match it. That it's Whacker Blake that's touched it. We don't know if it's going to be claimed as a knock-on. It will be. So it's going to be a Hull play the ball inside of the 20 for the first tackle. Or zero tackle. But yeah, still pretty running through the set-by-set football. So at least here's the first tackle inside of the 30 of the first tackle for Hull. And it's no 7-tackle set. Now Hull going down the left-hand side, as that is Romano. Brought down just shy of halfway for the third tackle. Not much line breaks going on at the moment, so it's been very reserved so far. Hull nearly spreading it out to the right here. Price trying to find a gap. He does. He's wrestled off one tackle. Goes for the grubber, and there's a chasing Hull FC player. And I choose to eat my words. And there we go. Hull FC get a try. And I believe it's the number 11 of Joe Batchelor. And with the try pretty much under the black dot, it is going to be 6-all after 16 minutes. But yeah, Will Price, there we go, setting up a try. Finds a gap in the line, and he's able to break off the tackle and sees Batchelor riding on the near side of his left-hand part of his body. And he just puts in a grubber, weighted perfectly, flick ups at Batchelor inside of the 10, and he just catches it and scores right next to the post. So, 4-6 with a kick to come. With a very decent chance this is going to be 6-all. Yeah, pretty decent there. Joe Batchelor getting the try. So Will Price now setting up the try. Now a chance to make the game level. And the kick is good. 6-all after 16 minutes. As they play Chase the Sun, it's the darts. The darts song, but yeah, pretty decent play there by Will Price. Knights could definitely use that in that trial today, or yesterday, I'll tell you that much. So, yeah, okay, so it's a pretty even match so far, so I feel like the score definitely is appropriate representation of it. It's just, it's going to be hard to tell what does happen for the rest of it. It's going to be hard to tell. Could be in a close proximity in that, so you just don't know. Yeah, stats pretty much all really being quite even. The only thing been is, Hull has had more missed tackles. It's like 6-2. But yeah, pretty much it's been fairly even. This match as Hull now have the ball from following the kick. And this will be the second tackle inside of the 20. Oh, Batchelor's lost the ball here. How? And no one has clocked onto that. The ball was definitely... He lost possession of that. And the referees have just not seen that. And that's last tackle here for Hull. 45 away from the try line. But yeah, that's kind of interesting how that one wasn't seen. It's propped up on the hard cam and everything as Aikens takes the catch from the last tackle kick inside the 10. It'll get wrapped up just shy of the 20 for the first tackle for the Bulls. Now 17 and a half gone in this matchup. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how Ockenbaugh does see if how serious that injury does come through. I don't know. And here we go. Penalty here for the Bulls. And the ball is around... It's around their 40, so decent little kick. Will definitely get them in to Hull's half and possibly threat to see them retake the lead. So how far does the kick go from the number 7 of Milnes? And it's put on Hull's 40, so 40 metres out, full set of 6. Can the Bulls get another try? As that is the number 15 of Ruby Doro. 30 out now for the first. Big run as a big gap opened up there, which Price had to fill. Waka Blake gets through the line, gets it out to the wing, and it's Connor Wynn who scores in the left-hand corner and gives the biggins to the Hull fans with the cuffing of the ears. And just like that, it's 10-6 to the Bulls. After just shy of 19 minutes gone in this game. But there you go, just like that, just quick plays and get the chance. And I mean, first one try there by Waka Blake, and he's set up been a part of another setup. But yeah, one thing that has note, there was a massive gap that opened up in Hull's middle of the line, which forced Will Price to come in to try to fill it. And just like that, they spread out to the left. No wingers there to touch Connor Wynn to tackle him, and it just resulted in the try now. So yeah, I guess you could kind of say about how it's a sensible way of how it's resulted in that. What channel's it on? Gareth, it's on. Oh, I have to check. I think it's on. It's on Sky. I know that's the broadcast. It's also on KO, but I think there's and Super League Plus. But there is also, I know some betting sites have it on stream, but I don't know if you have to bet to actually watch that game. So whatever it is possible, but yeah, I wish I could show it, but I can't go. But all good. Here's a conversion attempt to make it 12-6. It's going to curl just away. And it's going to remain 10 points to 6 as we're now 20 minutes remaining in this first half. But yeah, a little bit of a defensive blunder there for Hull. Just that big gap really in the middle of the field, which just forces Will Price to abandon his post to come in and fill the hole. But then, so essentially, the next play, Conwin goes over and scores. Some of the coaching positions I haven't seen is quite interesting because I've had like yesterday Warrington, they had Sam Burgess was in like a proper box, but then you saw like the Super League coach basically in with the fans, and where the Bradford coaches are just like in a top bit of the stand, just overlooking menacingly. But Bradford now have the ball, but they get driven back for the second tackle. They were at the 20, but they get driven away by about 10 metres. As that is Doro, who gets brought down just shy of the 20 for the third tackle. Yeah, the left side's definitely more compacted in with the middle, so if they just keep going with this middle driving, they could possibly see another opening. As that is Easton Masters, the Cook Islands International. Just shy of halfway for the last tackle. And there's a deep kick. High up in the air, Will Price will take it on the 20. And he would get brought down just shy of halfway. Sorry, not halfway, the 30-metre line for the first tackle. I'm actually starting to lose it. Essentially, now second tackle for Hull now on their 40. Spread it more now into the middle. They're just shy of halfway now for the third tackle. Some decent quick plays here as they're just trying to force a possible set restart, but Aiden now about 25 away from the try line for the fourth tackle. Big flat ball. It's going to be a penalty here. A late hit after a pass has happened. Ryan Sutton committing the foul for a late hit on Callum Kemp. Any players standing out for Bradford? Waka Blake has been pretty good. He pretty much scored the first try of the match. He also was helping a part of the setup for the Connor Wynn try. So he's been going pretty well so far. Ockenbaugh, unfortunately, done in about 3 minutes with a knee injury. But in terms of other players, Doro's been getting some good run-ins off the bench. But yeah, so far, if I had to pick one player who's been probably standing out for Bradford, it would be Waka Blake. So 20 out, full set of 6 now coming in for Hull to see if they can try to make it level or essentially just set up for them to take the lead. Hull flat ball again, and the ball's popped out, but it's going to be counting as a knock-on. And could there be a possible... It did look like it possibly could have been raked out. No captain's challenge. Aiden says it's challenging it. Yep, the referee asked if he wanted to challenge, and he will. Because it looked like there was a bit of motion, and then the ball just violently gets put out. So we're just having a look. So it's a two-man tackle. So it's, I guess, looking at Zach Fulton of how he's involved in this ball popping out and seeing if it is a loose carry by Hull. His arm's under the ball and he does pop it out. there's a proper dialect going on with the Hull player saying, yeah, yes, it's been picked up on the referee's like, yeah, you see it's stone cold. It's a stone cold penalty. Oh no, this might not actually be a penalty. They're trying to see if Fulton is having an intent to steal, or if it's just his hand popping out and it's just a loose carry. Yep, Fulton's got grip under the ball. It is going to be a penalty for an illegal strip with 2 men in the ball. So, yep, successful challenge by Hull. So, good for Cesar to finally to go for it, and he gets the challenge successfully. So, 15 away from the try line now. A full set of 6 for Hull. Can they get an equalising try there? Liam Knight really happy with himself about getting that challenge correct. It's more so 10 metres out now, full set of 6s. We've now got about 17 minutes. And here we go on the field. Lidgy Sow off the bench. This is going to be Some exciting scenes. Hull got numbers on the right-hand side. Will Price darting pass, and that's going to result in a try, passing it out to the wing of, I believe it's Zach Hardiker, who was on the right-hand side. And that's 2 tries set up by Will Price, and it's now 10-all with a kick to come. So yeah, definitely my 2 favourite players currently in this matchup has been Michael Blake for Bradford and Will Price for Hull. For 2 set-up tries there. So, it's not Zach Hardiker, it was Harvey Barron. For some reason, I confused the 2 with the 4 with the 2 of the 4. But there we go. So Harvey Barron gets the try, and it's going to be a kick from the sideline on the right-hand side to possibly see Hull get their first lead in this matchup to make it 12-10. So, yeah, try's all good. There's nothing going to be wrong with it to have it taken away from them. This kick's going to be really interesting. See how it does go. Will Price right from the sideline to give the faithful their first lead of this matchup. And it's an absolute beautiful kick down the middle. And it's now 12-10 to Hull. About 15 minutes now remaining in this first half. It's just a lovely kick. You don't really know in this type of match, but Barron now, yep, was the second try scorer here from Hull. Just waiting now for the kickoff by Bradford, and it's done. It's going to be going to the right hand side, left hand if you're on the side, and there is Sal who gets the first hit up from running the fence inside of the 20 here for the first tackle. Second tackle now. They're just at the 20. Quick place here by Hull. I guess they're trying to possibly get another set restart with Hull, with Bradford players just slow to get back to the line, as that is Hardiker. Just shy of halfway for the 4th tackle. Still been very central so far this set, as Will Price gets brought down just past the halfway line. As Cesar takes the last tackle, kick on halfway. Oh, bit late, but Doro does bring down Cesar. That could be a penalty in the NRL, but it doesn't look like it's going to be given in the other perspective. But there we go. Bradford get first possession on their 20. That's Wacker Blake who gets an offload off. Can they try to find a gap here? There's wrestled out of another tackle here. Still going. As that is Eason, I believe it's Eason Masters. Gets brought down just shy of the 30 for the 3rd tackle. Doro, pings a bloke off, but he'll get brought down on the 30 again now for the 4th tackle. But Bradford is not really, they're kind of compacting at the moment. They've got no one players out. They're all very close to each other. And here we go. Sawaso Su coming on the field here. That is a scary sight. That is unbelievable. I want to see a running match between him and Doro. And it's a kick behind the 40. And Will Price has forced the ball to be batted back in play. The touch judges said, no, it is gone out of play. Yes, because it was batted back in. And Will Price's foot did hit out. And then he catches the ball before, in the field of play before his foot's down. So it's a grubber kick for a potential 40-20. Will Price bats it back in the line. He's out of the field of play. And before he catches the ball back in infield, his feet are still up in the air. So 10 metres out, Bradford will get possession of the ball and have a chance to take back the lead. So we'll count as the first 40-20 of the Super League season, I believe. So there you go. There's the stat for you. So can the Bulls find a breakthrough? They've got 12.5 minutes now remaining in this first half. As you see, the away end, it's the number 8 of Ryan Sutton. 10 outs now for the... It's a set restart, actually, I believe. Nope, still second. Is it? We don't know. the tackle counters don't know. So third tackle now, 5 out. Doro trying to go up the gut, and it's going to be a penalty for a high shot. It's interesting to see all the referees have their little quirks of what's like a high shot, because some do this. The current referee's done that, which is... Does referees just do what they like, or is there like an actual, like, is there a couple of acceptable gestures to decide what the penalty is? If there's any referees in rugby league, let me know. So here we go. Another set of 6 here for the Bulls to see if they can try to get a try, as it's the number 17, Ed Chamberlain, who came on for Jay Knockenball, who did his knee in about 2 minutes into this matchup. And the pass has gone away, and it's going to be classed as a knock-on. So Hull have survived that. So Hull will now get the scrum on their 10-metre line, as we're now coming into now the final 11 minutes of this first half. Still 12-10 in favour of the faithful. The faithful, not faithful. I should proper pronunciate in that. So here we go. Scrum on the 10-metre line. Almost a run quickly straight through, but it'll be brought down inside of the 20 for the first tackle for Hull. And it's an immediate penalty for Hull. This has been the thing. Penalties have been really a major factor in how teams have been able to get down the other end of the field, as Cesar kicks it into touch. As we're looking at the review, so we don't know how far away we actually are. Right on halfway. Pretty decent kick there by Cesar. And now... one half of the field and a full set of 6. Can Hull extend their lead? They're 40 away now from the first. And here's Sam Lasoni. He's already barging over one player. He's got 4 players involved in a tackle to get him down. He's now... Oh! And the ball's popped out, and it's going to be a penalty. Big Sam getting his impact here. Bro. His neck muscles are absolutely insane. He's just a big, stocky, no-nonsense. I don't want to run straight at him. Here we go. 10 metres out. First tackle here for Hull. They're just trying to find a way to extend their lead. Gone out to the left wing. Can they get it done? No, it's going to get wrapped up there by Bradford. It'll be a second tackle. Price flinging it out now into the middle. Trying to find a gap. That's a big tackle by Waka Blake. But unfortunately, it's going to be counted as Waka Blake touching it and making a knock-on. So it's still going to be another set here for Hull for a scrum feed. So we're coming in now into the final 10 minutes. There's been 8 penalties so far this match. 5 conceded by Bradford, which I believe at least 2 of them have directly resulted in the tries that Hull have. So here we go, 20 out. Full set of 6 here. Can Hull extend their lead? I guess we'll find out. And that's another penalty here. They need to be careful here, Bradford. They could get someone in the bin if they keep going with these quick, fast penalties. In comes Sau. Just shy of the line. Oh! Big hit there by number 15 of Doro. Just shy of the line here now. Hull, they've got numbers. Lasoni gets held up now. Second tackle, 10 out. They'll go down to the right-hand side here. No. Runs from dummy half. As Cust now 5 short of the line here. Third tackle. Hull just trying to find anything. They're passing it out to their left-hand side. Oh, breakthrough. Great running from yourself, lad. Davey Litton breaks through. Just somehow finds a line and no Bulls players get a tackle. And it's now 16-10 with a kick to come, as we've got less than 8 minutes remaining in this first half. And yeah, honestly, if Hull get another try here, they could be in a bit of a decent position here. But now they've got a possible 8-point lead if Will Price can nail this conversion. But yeah, not bad at all, play at all. But just it's weird, just of Litton just somehow just squeezing through the gap. it's a bit of an odd one to say at the very least, but it's just because he runs diagonally, but it's just he was probably in like an arm grabbing distance, but just no one was able to get to him. And here we go, Will Price 2 for 2 for the night. This to make it 3 from 3 and an 8-point lead to Hull with 7 remaining in this first half, and he's kicked it. So 18-10. You got to think if there's another if Hull get another try before the before half time, then a possible 14-point lead is on the cards for them. But there we go. Will Price does get the successful conversion. But here we go. We're waiting now for the kickoff by Bradford. 6.5 now. Pause and remaining in this first half. I had to make sure I wasn't having a stroke there, to be completely honest. But here we go. Here we go. Sam Lasodi runs from the back fence. Bro, that'd be scary. And now Sal running up the middle as well, and he'll get brought down on the 20 for the second tackle. Trying to get another penalty here because Bradford need to be careful with their discipline, which I feel like for both teams they might get something similar of a talk, but I feel like it's going to be a bit more of a focus for Bradford because their ones have been more consequential in leading to attacks and tries for Hull. As Sal now gets past halfway for the last tackle and flings it out, and it's a high kick. And it's taken there by Aikens. And he'll get brought in inside the 20 for the first tackle. So carry meters is just about 100 meters advantage by Hull. So realistically, the stats have been pretty even, except the penalties conceded. 7 conceded by Bradford compared to Hull's 3. So that's probably going to be a bit of a factor that will be talked about in the sheds. Third tackle now just shy of the 30 here for the Bulls. Trying to find some good post-contact meters there. Just shy of halfway now for the fourth tackle. Like a Blake trying to find space. Gets to Aikens. And he'll get brought down on Hull's 40 here for the last tackle. High boot up onto the right-hand side here. Will Price. It's going to be one-on-one combating. That's going to be a penalty. As Price gets taken out high in the air, as that's his son Masters who's gone in for the ball. They're trying to appeal it's an accidental collision. It's a captain's challenge immediately by Bradford. Basically saying if a son Masters has gotten eyes on the ball, or if it's just because it's a pretty dangerous position there for Will Price. So kick us up in the air. This is a captain's challenge here by Bradford. So Price goes up in the air for it. And Masters just kind of stops his run. He like spins around the back and just takes Price out. But I don't know if it's accidental or not. The problem is I feel this is going to be an inconclusive one where it'll still be a penalty, but I think Bradford might retain their challenge. So it's not an escort. No, there you go. It is an unsuccessful challenge, so it will still result in a penalty for Hull. So that's unfortunate there for Bradford. And again, it's another penalty being given to Hull. And if with about just 4.5 minutes now remaining, a decent kick could get him around the middle of the field. So we could see, yeah, that's just unfortunate positioning there by Sun Masters. Oh, the kick's gone all the way into halfway. It's a 40-metre kick into touch. That's pretty impressive. So 4 set of 6 here now for Hull. Bradford need to be on their best behaviour. They just can't give away a set restart or anything, because it could just open up the opportunity for Hull to keep increasing their lead and possibly have up to a 14-point lead in the sheds at half time. So it's number 18 of Sow is now about 25 away from the try line for the third tackle. Hull now spreading it into the middle. Passes down the right-hand side. Bit of a run here for Barron. Barron trying to get through, but he gets wrapped up. 10 metres out now, fourth tackle. We'll go middle here, Price. Sends it out to the right. They've got numbers if they want to use it, but they're trussing back in. But Hull stay in. 10 metres out now, last tackle. Cesar goes for a crossfield kick. It goes a little bit backwards here, but it's a 2-on-2. It's a big weighted grubber, and it's just going to go all the way out. And it'll be a it'll be a 7-tackle set, but a 20-minute restart for Bradford. So now just got almost 3 minutes now remaining in this first half. Still 18-10 in favour of Hull. Now run up the guts here, Bradford. Could Bradford try to close the deficit? This is first tackle, and they're on their 40. That's a forward pass, and it's going to get called. That's something they definitely didn't want to do. And now Hull will get the ball just inside of Bradford's half for a full set. They're probably one of the last sets they'll have of this first half, as we've now got about 2.5 remaining, as clock is still ticking. But yeah, the definite goal for Bradford here is just to stop any scoring, because an 8-point disadvantage, not the worst result. So here we go. Hull now trying to find and break the line here. They're 35 away from the try line for the first tackle, as we're now about to tick past 2 minutes remaining in this game. It's first half, saved it. As that is Sow that gets brought down on the 30 for the second. The spread out to the left here. Price trying to find a gap. It'll get wrapped up 15 away on the left-hand side now. It's the third tackle. Price calling for there's a couple of penalty calls there. One for issues in the ruck and one for an offside. Okay, more central now, Hull. Third tackle, 10 metres out. Cast, flat ball, run up the straight for Sam Lasoni, and he's about 5 metres short of the line here. Fourth tackle here for Hull. They'll go to the left. It's a grubber. There's some chase, but again, shortening goals has resulted in the ball being bounced out. It's going to be a 20-minute restart and a 7-tackle set, and realistically, this will be the last full set of the game, and this game's first half, and it'll be Bradford. So Bradford's done all right to just being able to keep it away from being a possible double-figure deficit. First tackle now right on halfway here for Bradford. Could they possibly even get a try and make the deficit as low as 4 or 2? Oh, and that's a knock on there. Never mind. It's just, I need to stop saying it because I really am cursing Bradford. But here we go. Scrum feed 45 away from the try line. There's about 30 seconds remaining. There might just be one play here for Hull. If they're able to get it done, we're not too sure. To clock off 25 seconds. Do you even just go for a field goal and just get like a bonus point, or even... Is 2-point field goals a thing in this if it's behind the 40? I don't know. I know it's an NRL thing, but I don't know if it's also Super League. Kick over the top here. Noah's charged down by Bradford, but Hull's now got the ball again. Price trying to find a gap. It'll get brought down 45 away from the try line for the first tackle. Now 10 seconds remaining. This will probably be the last play, and they're just going to run it into the middle. And 2, 1 will be another set. They get the play off just before the siren sounds. This will be the last play. It's a high kick, but it's just being taken by Bradford. Now, can Bradford do anything? But Isan Masters will get brought down inside the 10, and that will be the end of the first half. It is 18-10 to Hull. been pretty even in most bits, but unfortunately, penalties being given away has just been given Hull the edge in this, so it's now an 8-point lead. So, not the worst stats, but I mean, also not the worst deficit for Bradford to be in. So it definitely could be worse, but it also could be better, which is just a pretty silly and stupid thing to say, but that's unfortunately that's the truth. It's and how it is. So the tries have come. So for the Bradford Bulls, you've had tries from Waka Blake and Connor Wynn, and for Hull FC you've had Harvey Barron. He's got one of the tries. You've also gotten a try by Joe Batchelor. And I believe it was Davey Litton who went over for the third try. So I remember, I just had to get it off me noggin. So I'm just looking up some of the stats, but it's been, like brought up about a couple of minutes ago, it has been still pretty even. But just there's a few key indicators that it's just shown that how this match has resulted in the score with just being a bit of a disciplinary issue by Bradford. So it began pretty even possession, 53-47 in favour of Hull in terms of the percentages. Meters, only about 160 meters advantage for Hull. But yeah, again, all in all, it's like if you're just going like through like the main stats, it's still all mostly pretty even, except runs from dummy half being more so advantage. Even missed tackles, still pretty even. 16 missed tackles by Hull and 20 by Bradford. But it's just the penalties and the errors, which has been the factor. 6 errors in favour of Bradford compared to Hull's 2. And if we go into penalties, if I can just find that stat, do they actually seriously not have a penalty stat on here? But it was something about like 7-3, I believe, along those lines of the penalty stats. So yeah, I feel like Bradford need to wrestle control for the start of the second half if they do want to probably come back into this. Essentially, they kind of need to just do what St Helens did against Warrington, but I guess be more so clinical in actually capitalising to get it done. Because, I mean, we saw like 20 minutes between the 40 and the 60th minute where St Helens were just really dominant, but they just didn't get enough done for it to result in taking the lead. But yeah, just now, waiting now, just it's still got about 5-10 minutes before the start of the second half. I'm just trying to think if there's any other aspect that we could talk about. I mean, currently it's an 8-point gap. It's all, the ladder's still been really close. I believe it's if we go in terms of a ladder leader, I believe it's still just a based on the margin was only like 16, wasn't it? That's got the Catalan Dragons. Yep, it's a 14-point margin. So realistically, if Hull were to run away with this, they would more than likely be top of the table, obviously depending on the later match between Toulouse and Wakefield, and of course the match tomorrow, which is the Castleford Tigers and the Wigan Warriors. See, you just don't really know. So yeah, there's another moment. They're just waiting here. They're just doing advertisements for next week's World Club Challenge. Obviously being Hull, Kingston Rovers and the Brisbane Broncos. Which will... it'll be pretty interesting to see how that game does play out. So it should be about... so probably more likely like Friday early morning my time. So Thursday 6:30 over in England. So yeah, pretty decent. yeah, it's going to be pretty cool to see how that does play out. In terms of a... Yeah, I'm going to start a poll here for people who want to vote for the second for this to see what could possibly happen in the second half. All of the matches so far in the Super League season have had at least one card or one Symbian. So, will there be a card issued in this match? Yes or no, do you think? To be honest, I'm honestly more leaning towards no. There's not really been much argy-bargy or anything, so to be honest, if there was something like that to happen, I'd be honestly a bit shocked. But yeah, do people think otherwise? Do you think there will be a card to keep the tradition, I guess, of this season going with there being one in each match at least? Also, I've just said that, but I don't even know if there was one between Lee and Leeds, so I'm just going to have a quick check here, because I could be wrong. Basically, nearly all the matches have had it, at least. But we'll just see if there was a card between the Lee Leopards and the Leeds Rhinos. Events. Was there a card? Oh, I don't know. Yes, there was. Okay, that's pretty good. And there's the proof. 58th minute card for the Lee Leopards. There's just only one card. Just have a look. Yep, just one card. Okay, so, yeah, every match so far in the Super League has had at least one card. Yeah, I think for Hull, just, I guess, keep going to what they're doing. Just keep, I reckon that might be the goal. Just keep frustrating Bradford. They just... And definitely do need to rush their set plays just to keep them on their toes and get some set race 6 against and just keep it going. I guess it's just going to be the ploy. So yeah, still pretty damn even. Is All I Need by Olivia Dean's playing. Olivia Dean's pretty, like, I know she's been around for like ages, but she's definitely had a big pop-off scene here. She won All I Need, which is the song that was playing, is what's won Triple J's Hottest 100, which is this big thing that Australia has for like, the best song of the year. And it's been interesting the last couple of years because a lot of people are getting pissy because an Australian artist hasn't won. Maybe make good music. Is I guess the essence of that. But a couple of minutes away now from the start of the second half. Does anybody want to have a stab of, do they think a card will be issued in this matchup? Could be not. We're just not too sure, but you never know. But it just, I don't know, it just seems like it'd be very... I don't really see anybody from either team doing it, to be honest with you. So I just guess we just don't really know, but could be the method, but we just gotta wait and see as we're now ticked over 5:30 AM on this Sunday morning. Now we're just waiting for the next couple of minutes. We're just not too far away. Definitely very much an indecisive decision of whether a card will be in there or not. I'm definitely going to be more so saying I don't think so, but could be a switch on. You just never know. Just now waiting from the ads to get back into the second half. Just gonna have a quick look to see if there's any news on Ockenball. So I'm just gonna have a quick research. guess probably Twitter would probably be the best bet, or because I'm not calling it X. I know I just did, but you get the point. So, Jaden Ockenboy, he went down with a serious knee problem. Just trying to see if there was anything put up. Ockenboy gets highest to a high ball. But yeah. Yeah, nothing in terms of the latest here. Pretty much just saying that, yeah, he had a knee injury, but there's no saying about how bad it was. But yeah, you're just not really knowing. Just seen something. I don't know if anyone's really going to care about this, but it just shows how the mainstream media cares about football in Australia. As they put a match graphic score between Melbourne Victory and Brisbane Roar. Sorry about that. Let me just get that back up. That's the photo they've used. That's two completely different teams. That's Melbourne City and Adelaide United. And also, the man in red is Archie Goodwin. He's not at Adelaide anymore. That's a photo from the previous season. And he's in America right now playing for Charlotte FC. We do have a vote, though. No, for a possible card in this matchup. And yeah, I definitely agree. It's been an all-right match, to say at the very least. The post has been deleted, but still. And also another thing to show the unseriousness of Australian football. This was today. I mean, it was on Valentine's Day. As a Brisbane a Brisbane fan did that on the camera and of the hard cam, and it turns out he was kicked out by security. That's just unfair. That's just disappointing, but it's just funny. But yeah, we're just waiting now. We've got a couple of minutes now from the start of the second half as they're getting the ads going for Rugby League in Las Vegas. That's going to be quite exciting, but yeah, that's a no. Hull Kingston Rovers in about a week or two's time, taking on the Leeds Rhinos over in Vegas. It's pretty cool in that. Obviously, the Knights playing over there as well because the Knights are massive. 28-0 in a fucking trial match. To be fair, it is against the Bulldogs, but still, we did just bring in a halfback, a playmaker who is on the most expensive contract in rugby league in history, $1.4 million for 10 years. Not all his fault. Plenty of other players that were worse, but no, just getting close now. So we're just now waiting for both teams to come out to restart the second half. If I take an estimate of what the team talks would be, I think both would have a bit of elements of just settle with the set restarts and the penalties, because that's been a very major factor in either team getting field positioning. But yeah, it's just got to keep it going, and in terms of just playing fair and black, because it's still, again, with the score, still very much even. Just waiting now for when they come out. We're still pretty damn close. Anyone going to get their last bit of votes in? But I feel like it's a bit more of a consensus that it is going to be a no. As, there we go. Bradford Bulls now out on the field. So it'll be Hull FC kicking off. They'll be running screen left. And it will be the Bradford Bulls getting first possession in this second half. So, yep, just waiting now for the start of this. Okay, now Hull FC come back out onto the field, so we'll just end the poll. We've overall, for a consensus, have gone with a no. There will be no sin bin or just a card being dished out, in our opinion, in this match, which still probably fair. So Hull, once again, they're going screen right, and it's going to be the Bradford Bulls getting first crack at possession in this second half. As they're playing, Hull FC playing Black and White Town by the Doves. That's a absolute old FIFA banger, is that? And I respect them for. I mean, to be fair, they're wearing black and white. Makes complete sense. So here we go. Will Price now just waiting for the kickoff. The siren has sounded. Ready for the marching orders. And we are underway for the second half as Bradford will pick the ball from the catch inside of the 10. And, oh, big hit up there as you have to run into Sam Lasoni. And just straight away, it's a penalty for the Bradford Bulls. Looks like Lasoni was the one who caused it. But what was the penalty for? Was it for a high shot or I don't know? Yeah, a little bit of a high shot there. Clipped up across the lip. Not too bad, but it still is a high shot. So penalty for Bradford straight away from the first hit up. And the ball we get down on halfway here. So 50 metres, full set of 6. And that is Doro. Gets brought down only just right in front of halfway here for the first tackle. Flat ball over the top to Skur. 40 away from the try line now. Second tackle. Bradford sprinting it down the middle again. It's front here. Russell gets brought down 20 away from the try line now here for the third tackle. And there seems to be a little bit of a... It's an injury here there, Dan Russell. Nope, he's not getting up. The referee asked if he could try to play the ball, but his left leg is very stiff here. Could it be a knee problem? Or is it a hamstring? It looks more so it's a knee issue. I mean, you can't hope it's not a long-term knee injury because Ockenball's already out. It probably could be for a decent period of time. Let's have a look and see what has happened. Oh, yeah, it's the number 18. It's Sow that's come in and claw with the legs, but it looks... I think that could... I don't know if it's going to be a penalty, but I feel like there's been cases where that something like that has been given. Yeah, referees reviewing this, so there could be a possibility of Lidgy Sow possibly causing a penalty here for Bradford, but if they're reviewing this, could be a possibility of a sin bin. But he's back up on his feet with putting power on it, so it's all right. He's got pressure on it, but it's not... Couldn't be as serious, but it's going to be on report there for Lidgy Sow with the targeting of the legs, and it's going to be another penalty here for Bradford. But then again, it's a very slow walk-off here for Dan Russell. Yeah, he's just... Lidgy Sow's basically come in and basically forced Russell's leg to go one way and his foot stuck in another position. He's putting pressure on it, but it is quite slow to get him off the field. But it will be a... Is it a penalty? I don't think it is. It's just play on, but it is an on report there for Lidgy Sow. So here we go, 15 out from the fourth tackle here. Can Bradford answer with the first try of this second half? They're now 5 metres away from the try line here. So decent chance here. They're going to go to the right-hand side. They're going to pass out to the wing, but there's a big gap. That's going to be a major obstruction if that did result in a try. And it's going to be a changeover with Hull getting the ball inside of the 10. But then again... Commentators are saying not a bad place to give it up is now Hull will just need to try to get out of this field. So they picked him up and have lifted him to try to get him into the goal line dropout area of possibility for a tackle, but Hull's keeping the field. This is now the third tackle, and they've only just gone past the 10-metre line. Bit better on this fourth one as they're down now on their 20. But it's a very quick set. They'll get to the 30 here, so at least they can try to go for a kick. No, they'll just keep running up. Oh, big line break there by San Lasoni. Gets brought down on halfway for the last tackle. Big run there. It's a big 20-metre run. Kick to the right-hand side there for Hull as Atkins gets the catch and gets brought down on the 10-metre line for the first tackle for Bradford. As we're now 3 minutes gone in this second half, still remaining 18-10, with two Bradford players possibly out with knee injuries, being Ockenball and Russell. Big appeals there for a penalty for Bradford, just trying to get the ball, trying to get up to try to play the ball, but nothing happening. Bradford just not really getting that much far as Masters gets held up on the 30 for the fourth tackle. It's going to be an early kick, potential 40-20 attempt, and Price is able to get it inside of the 20. It's going to pass it off, and Hull will get their first tackle inside of the 30 for the first tackle. So not a bad start for the set for Hull if they can just get better field positioning and I guess reverse the pressure and keep Bradford down their end. As that is Romano just past the Hull's 40. No one's really keen on getting a run up for the assist, but they've now entered Bradford's half as they're now 45 away from the try line for the fourth tackle. Price now going on a run, trying to find a flat pass to Romano, but he'll get brought down 25 away from the try line. Last tackle as Price goes for a high kick around the 10, and that's going to be a knock on by Hull, and it'll be Bradford who get the ball on their 10. So a little bit of running the sets, not much breaking out in this match, to be completely honest. In this match's second half, to say, but guess trying to feel themselves, but definitely whoever can get the first try in this second half will have the momentum. But for Hull, if they get the try, then it'll be 12 points, possible 14, which could be the start of a potential rout somewhat of Bradford. But obviously a try for Bradford with a conversion could have the margin as minimal as 2 as Bradford now attack on the left-hand side, as they're now third tackle just in front of their 40-metre line. So number 16 here, it's Skur. Gets brought down just shy of halfway for the last tackle. No, it's the fourth tackle, sorry, as Doro gets an offload off now that in Hull's half. Potential run here. Why would you go central there, Masters? Masters is still going, however, so I must be an idiot. They've flipped it out now to the left-hand side. They've got a 2-on-1 possibility. Down the run, down the wing, and that is a brilliant try out of nothing. And it was me that was criticising the run by San Masters, but it's eventually led up from the right to the left. And they get a try, and now it's 18-14 with a kick to come, as it's Connor Wynn who gets his second try of the match. And well, if conversion successful, it's now going to only be a 2-point game. And it has been very even affair, barring the penalty and error count. Yeah, Masters was more on the right-hand side, but then he goes more middle and breaks through a couple of tackles and then sees a 4-on-2 on Bradford's left-hand side. And Wacker Blade just keeps the run going to the point to draw in the right winger there for Hull. And he just passes it out to the winger of Connor Wynn like he did earlier in the first half. And it's now 18-14 with a kick to come, as we're now 7 minutes gone in this second half. So now just waiting for the conversion attempt from Mills, who is 1 from 2. This to make it a 2-point margin. Back from the 20 near the sideline. And the kick is good. 18-16. 7 minutes gone in this second half. So this we could have a grandstand finish, lads. We genuinely could. So yeah, definitely Waka Blake being very much, in my personal opinion, the best player for Bradford. I mean, there's obviously other players who have done stuff, but it's just, I feel like for the try-scoring aspects, he's been brilliant as Bradford get the first tackle out on the 20. And now just, you got to feel the momentum. And there's a penalty there by Bradford, for Bradford. And it's just, could this momentum keep on going? It's Lasoni being involved in another penalty again. And here's the kick attempt into touch, and it'll be placed on halfway. Full set of 6 now incoming for Bradford. Only 50 away from the try line now. 8 minutes gone, 18-16. It's Doro, and just as I talk about the momentum swing, Doro knocks it on the first tackle, and now Hull get their 0 tackle on Bradford's 40-metre line, and now we have a 6 again as well, so a full set now for Hull FC. It's a full 7 tackle set as well. So huge chance here for Hull to now get back to a more than 1 try margin, as it's Lytton. And Lytton are trying to drag Lytton out. He gets an offload off. Price has got the ball, but they're going to count as the tackle being held. But did the ball carrying arm hit the ground? Because I don't know if that tackle would have been completed. Yeah, I don't know. It's a bit of a weird one, to be completely honest. Lasoni brought down 20 away from the try line now. Second tackle for Hull. They'll go to the left as that is... Oh, big running. Oh, almost short of the line here now. 5 metres out. Third tackle. And it's a flat ball. And the ball has resulted in a knock-on for Hull. And Bradford run away and get brought down inside the 20 for the 0 tackle. So a couple of chances just keeping on going. But just a bit of miscommunication with that flat pass. Bit of a questionable pass there by Cust. So can Bradford find... more fills? So Elliot Paposhi has now, the 18th man for Bradford, has now come into this game because of the 2 knee injuries. So there we go. So Elliot Paposhi now in this matchup. So Aikens now brought down 40 away for the try line for the 4th tackle. Short down the left-hand side here, Bradford. And Bradford just keep on going. They're only 20 metres away from the try line now for the last tackle. And there's a kick high up in the air for the right-hand side. There's going to be pressure here. And that could be a knock-on here by Hull. So it should be a set restart. It is. It's a 7 tackle set here for Bradford. 10 metres out now. Here we go. Can Bradford take back the lead that they had early in the half? And it's a penalty. You just got to go for the try here. Don't think about going for the conversion. No, don't go for the 2. Go for the try, please. Don't go for the conversion to tie it, bro. Unfortunately, no, they're going for 2. So it's also right in front. So this should make it 18 all. As we're now 11 minutes gone in this second half. Yeah, a bit of a questionable one to make the call to at this still early time in this second half. But here we go. This to make it 3 from 4 from conversions here for Rowan Milnes. To make it to all square at 18 all. So here we go. He's got a 73% success probability with this, so pretty decent odds. This to make it a tied game with about 28 minutes remaining on the clock. And the kick is successful. It's 18 all. I guess it's going to be a bit of an interesting question of would you have taken the 2 in that scenario? Because you're right, like knocking on the door, but it's just I feel like maybe you could have had another set and then drawn a penalty. But the away bay for the Bradford Bulls, very much behind. The crowd atmosphere is definitely in favour of Bradford at the moment. And there's the kickoff there by Hull, taken inside the 10 by Bradford, and they'll be wrapped up inside the 20 for the first tackle. But now just shy of the 20-metre line for the second tackle. As Bradford now on their left-hand side of the field, they're getting an offload off. Trying to find some gap. Again, stats still pretty even. Carry meters, 906 for Hull, 793 for Bradford. And post-contact meters, very close as well. 308s for Hull, 279 for Bradford. So it's pretty much all just been a very close game. Potential 40-20 attempt. It's behind the 40. It's a race, but it's going to land favourably for Will Price, who takes it inside the 10 for Hull. He gets a pass off, and the first tackle for Hull will be on their 20-metre line. So we've now got 26.5 minutes remaining in this matchup. And really it's going to be who's going to be the first team to crack from pressure, because it's just been very much an even contest. Like, a draw wouldn't be, honestly, the worst result, because it's probably the most fair, because it's like no team has really had a stranglehold on this context. But now Hull getting past halfway for the fourth tackle. Will Price getting a run, almost getting a breakthrough, but it'll get brought down on Bradford's 30 for the last tackle. High boot up in the air. There's going to be a couple of contestants. It's caught by Aikens. He gets immediately wrapped up inside the 10 for the first tackle for Bradford. Now, incoming a potential big defensive set by Hull to keep the Bulls in their pen, proverbially of course. And third tackle now. They're still on their 10 here, Bradford. Can they just find somebody to charge forward? Big fend there, but unfortunately it's Connor Wynn, who's still at the 10, fourth tackle. They'll pass it out to their left wing, getting a pass through, and it's a tackle into Trutch. That's a big defensive play there. But I believe it's Harvey Barron who gets the tackle, and there'll be a 35 metres away from the try line. Hull will get possession of the ball. So that is honestly pretty decent field position for them to take the lead if they were to get a try. Interesting thing, they've just put up on Reddit the what caused the death of Alexei Navalny. That's You're never going to get that in any other rugby league live watch-along, so there you go, you're learning stuff. All right, 35 out, full set of 6 here for Hull. Can they get something to get over the line as Sau gets wrapped up on the 30 for the first tackle? They'll spread it now to their left, as it is Romano, 25 out now for the second tackle. Run up the gut, says it's 10 out now, third tackle. Can Hull find a gap? Getting a pass out to their wings. Oh, you could have passed a little bit early. But it is Litton who stays in play now. 5 metres out. Fourth tackle. On the far left. Oh, it's a set restart as well. So this is very much an ample opportunity here for Hull, as we've got Brad Fash brought down on the 10 for the first tackle. Now Sau. Sau's going to get held up around the 10, so second tackle. Can Hull go out to the right? No, it's an early commit. Oh, getting an offload going. And again, wrapped up on the 10 here. Third tackle now for Hull. They're flinging it out. Will Price. Can Price find the gap? He tries to step and go for the try. He's about a couple of metres short of the line here. Fourth tackle. And it's a kick to the side, and it's just Hassan Masters who gets the ball. And Bradford survived that. I think it's a bit early to go for the kick. Oh, one-on-one strip, but that's surely got to be a knock-on. No, but Bradford hang on. That was very close for a possible changing of the ball for Hull 10 metres out, but Bradford survived. But now Bradford pinned down inside of the 10. Just got to try to find some way to get field positioning as Waka Blake gets brought down inside the 20. But there we go. A bit of reprieve as it's a penalty here for Bradford. So less than about 22 minutes now remaining in this matchup. I guess you got to start asking the question, when does field goals start getting accounted for? But I mean, we've still got plenty of football to decide of whether or not it actually gets to that type of decision making. So just shy of halfway here, 4 set of 6 now for Bradford. And the first tackle will just be right near halfway for the first tackle. Now they enter the Hull half as it's Lewis who gets brought down. Now 22 minutes now remaining as new interchanges have now come in. And the ball's popped out. Is it an offload? It's gone backwards. It's still play on. Bradford now just still hanging around about 30 away from the try line. They're passing it out to their left again. As it is Wynn, who's still got the ball. And he'll get brought down 15 away from the try line for the third tackle. Can Bradford find something to get over the line? Now they're at the middle. Batted pass. That's the number 17 of Ed Chamberlain. 20 out now from the try line. Fourth tackle. And it's a set restart for Bradford. Huge chance here for the Bulls. As Masters now gets brought down on the 20 for the first tackle of this new set. Bradford now going down to the left, and it's Milnes gets brought down. 10 out on the left-hand side for the second tackle. I'll centre it now down into the middle. Trying to get offloads off. Masters will get held up and brought down on the 10 for the third tackle. So not really much avenues coming in of possible plays. Could we see one here? They go to the left-hand side here. 3-2 out to the Win. And Win gets brought down by Barron. 5 out now. Fourth tackle. Bit of a pushing and shoving there between Barron and Win. Another wrap up. Last tackle here. 10 metres out from the try line here for Bradford. They'll go to the left-hand side. It's a grubber. And Will Price bats it out. So it'll be a goal line dropout for Hull. And it's a good defensive. It's a good attacking set. Oh, hang on. Hull SC clutching his head. What happened there? Was it a little bit of a head clutch there? Will Price is down sitting. He's not looking in the best of ways here. So here we go. Last 20 minutes of this match. 5 seconds remaining for the goal line dropout. And Will Price is the one who's kicking it. And he kicks it just before. And he's drilled it. And it's going to go past halfway. It's gone all the way back to Bradford's 40. But the run gets from the number 10 of Lewis. Gets to the opposition 40. 40 out now, first tackle. 19 and a half remaining. As the Bulls look to possibly get a try that gets them back in front. As Masters gets brought down 30 away from the try line for the second tackle. Now Bradford here, it's the number 10 of Lewis. 20 out here, fourth tackle. Now Hull being short around the right. Get an offload off there. Chamberlain for the Bulls. We'll get wrapped up in about 15 away from the try line now. Fourth tackle. Quick play of the ball. Just trying to find some type of gap. Oh, that's a high shot. And that's going to be a penalty. And another set for the Bulls. It was a pretty decent high shot. It's not going to be a sin bin or anything. I'd be really shocked it is. And it is accidental. It's a little bit of a coat hanger one, but as it was the number 7 of Aiden Caesar, or Caesar actually, I've been pronouncing it wrong the entire time. The referee's just talking to the video ref, but it looks like it's probably not going to be much. So we're just now waiting now. If the referee does make a decision. It is pretty bad, but I don't know if it's going to result in the sin bin. No, I think Aiden Caesar should be alright. So 10 metres out, full set of 6, and a chance here for Bradford to possibly take the lead. And Bradford are going for 2. I don't know. I don't know about this. You've had a couple of... you haven't really had a chance to properly attack their goal line from like 10 metres out with a full set, but that's... Now twice they've gone for the conversion for the penalty kick. So now this will make it that Bradford goes up 20 points to 18. As Rowan Mills looks to make it 4 from 5 today. And it's in a pretty somewhat easier place to kick, so it should be not too bad. So here we go. Milnes to make it 20 points to 18 to give Bradford the first lead they've had in the second half, and it's good. So 18 minutes remaining in this matchup. Bradford lead 20 points to 18. So yeah, this is going to be quite an interesting contest. You've got to think, they've had 2 opportunities with penalties. They've both gone for 2s, and you just got to think, could there be a situation where Hull just get a try and win the game? And then you just ask the question of the decision-making of those scenarios. There's the first hit up by Bradford in this set as Lewis gets brought down on the 10 for the first tackle. But again, Hull need to be keeping an eye on their penalties because that's been what's helping Bradford getting in this ample field position. Lewis again now. This will be the third tackle as he is now just shy of the Bulls 30. Almost a line break. Brilliant offload. And it's a chase. It's a running race. Is he going to make it? It's the number 18 for Bradford. It's a big wrap up. And he's about a metre short of the line. Bradford need to spread this quickly to get a try. And it's just a tackle straight away from dummy half. Last tackle here for Bradford. Can they get a try? They'll spread it out to the right. Flat ball. Down up the guts near Will Price. But Will Price helps get to the stop. And it'll be a changeover for Hull inside of the 10. But man, that... what a brilliant run there by Bradford. But even better defense from Hull to preventing what possibly could have been a certain try. But Will Price is absolutely running on fumes, it seems. But it's a brilliant offload and just the run. I believe it's the number 18. I think it was Joe Keys who was on the run there. And he just gets wrapped up by Lewis Martin about 5 metres short of the line. And then you just get the last tackle drive, and it should have been a try on all purposes, but Will Price and the rest of the Hull defence causing the stop. So Hull now with this set, third tackle now. They're on their 20. Trying to see if they can draw a set restart. There's an offload through the play, so it's still going. And this will be the fourth tackle now. They're just on their 40 now, Hull. Spreading it out to their left-hand side. They get past halfway, so this will be last tackle 45 away from the try line. As Caesar goes for a high kick. As Akins will take it inside of the 20. And we'll get wrapped up on the 20-metre line. So we're now just about 15 minutes remaining in this matchup. As Bradford have got the dummy and they've broken the line, but there's no support for this running player who's forced Will Price to make the tackle. Second tackle, and that's 40 metres away from the try line now. But Bradford getting more of the better sets at the moment. As Masters now. And it's a set restart now as well. So now a huge chance here for Bradford to extend their lead. Waka Blake gets brought down now, 25 away from the try line for the first tackle. They'll go more centrally here, and then they'll try to figure out what they'll do. There's a dummy there, 15 out. Second tackle here for the Bulls. What do they end up doing here? They're going to go to the left. 3 on 3, but no passes get off as Masters gets brought down. 10 meters out now on the far left-hand side for the third tackle. But can Bradford find something? Trying to find offloads, but just no one's really wanting to make runs now. Fourth tackle, 15 out. Run from the hooker. As that is Ackers. Short of the line, it's a knock-on by Bradford. And Will Price has been, looked like he's had some injury enabling him, but he's now clutching the top of his shoulder. But it's going to be a change over here as Hull get the ball on their 10-meter line, as we've now got 13 and a half minutes remaining in this matchup. But Bradford, with a couple of line breaks, look to have the momentum here. But Will Price has been immense in this defense. Maybe it was a little pop on the socket here. It looked like Will Price is hanging around the back here. He could be done for the rest of the match. Potentially not. He's still on. He's a strong boy. Again, this match still really even. 885 meters for Hull compared to 816 for Bradford here. As that is Romano who gets brought down for Hull on their 40 for the third tackle. And now it's Litton who gets brought down for the fourth tackle on halfway. Can Hull find some line break? They do get an offload off. They fling it out to the right, but no one's really doing anything. Two Bradford players are down in the back play now, 25 away from the try line. Last tackle here for Hull. They're flinging it off to the left-hand side to kick into the corner, but it's a great take there by Isan Masters, and Bradford hold on and get possession. But this is going to be a monstrous defensive set coming here for Hull to keep Bradford at bay. But honestly, I think Bradford wouldn't mind doing that because they're just knackered at the moment. So Bradford might need to get a set restart or a penalty here. And the ball's popped out here. That's not what they wanted. Hold on. Touchline's talking, but yep, 20 meters out. Full set of 6 incoming here for Hull. And they've got a chance to take back the lead. And this is where the questions start coming is, was it right to take the 2 penalty kicks? There's a one-on-one strip to force the ball. Yep, so that is a knock-on. So 11 and a half remaining in this matchup. A chance for Hull to take back the lead. So here we go. The scrum's been set. 20 meters out now. Hull with the ball. They'll try to go right himself. Caesar far short of the line, and it's a penalty here for Hull. And now Will Price is offering to go for the 2. Do they go for the try here? Are they? Yep. For some reason, everyone goes for the 2 in this competition. So Will Price will now have the opportunity to make it 20 all going into the final 10 minutes of this matchup. So this is going to be quite an interesting one. It just seems like Will Price is just in an absolute mountain of pain because it just seems everything just seems to be affecting him. He's got like a hangnail. He's got the flu. He's clutching his shoulder earlier. He was clutching his head as well. 3 for 3 here for Will Price so far today. This will make it 4 for 4. And entering the final 10 minutes, 20 apiece. And he gets it. We're in for a barnstorming finish, ladies and gentlemen, and others as well. But here we go, 20 all into the final 10 minutes. When does the field goals get dropped? I was about to say golden point, but that's just NRL type stuff. But this is going to be an exciting one to do. 20 apiece. So here comes the kick from Bradford to restart the game. And the kick is off. Now it's out to the right. And Hull will get the ball. And the first tackle will happen just in front of their 10-meter line for the first tackle. Now we're just trying to see And any penalty or set restart here is going to be crucial in getting field position to get a try or even a golden point. So second tackle here on the 20 for Hull. One-upman's run from dummy half. And there we go. It's a penalty here for Hull. This is going to be crucial. If you get a decent kick into touch, they'll be knocking on the door of the Bradford half. So you just don't really know what's going to be happening here. It was an interference penalty. Full set of 6 right on halfway. As the first tackle for Hull is just inside of Bradford's half now, 45 away from the try line centrally. And it's a one-up hit. 40 away from the try line now. Second tackle for Hull. They're going to spread it more so to the right-hand side. Will Price. They're trying to get out to their wingers. There's a line break here. Just short of the line here. The number 4 of Hardiker for the third tackle here. Right. What happens here? Hull are probably going to go more so down the middle here. Now they're spreading it out to the other wing. They're still going here with the ball. It's going to be Romano who gets brought down 10 metres away from the try line for the fourth tackle. Now central. Do they go for a golden field goal or something? Caesar spreads it out to the right. No one there to give the support there for Bachelor. 5 out. Last tackle here for Hull. They're going to go out to the right. There's a grubber. And it's going to just be rolled down. It's going to be a 20-metre restart here for Bradford. So 7 tackle set now incoming for the Bulls. As Hassan Masters gets the offload. And it's given to Russell, who's brought down on the 30 for the 0 tackle in this set. And you got to think here, Hull need to be decently strong and just not give away a set restart or a penalty, because that could be very dire field positioning for Bradford in their attack. And Bradford still just trying to find a way to get into Hull's half here. Second tackle. They now enter Hull's half and they'll get to the 40 now. 40 away from the try line now. Third tackle. The Bulls now. Masters will get wrapped up and brought down. 30 away from the try line now. Fourth tackle. And run from dummy half here. As Suter gets brought up. Last tackle, 15 out. And it's attempted drop goal attempt from Bradford. And he's missed it and it's gone out on the full. But hang on, there's a lot of appealing going on. It was a charge down attempt, so it was played at by Hull. So that means it's going to be a goal line dropout by Hull. That's pretty big. And honestly, yeah, don't go for a short kick here. You just got to boot it. Yeah, it does take contact from the field goal. It was blocked and then does go out. So it's going to be a goal line dropout. It was Caesar that got the touch. 6.5 now remaining. So here comes expected a deep kick. It's not as deep enough as now Hull try to find possession. And that's a knock on by Bradford. And Hull will get the ball on their 20-metre line. It was a big risk, but the risk has paid off there for Will Price. So now Hull will get the ball on their 20-metre line. Now 6 minutes remaining in this matchup. You got to think this is where the field goals start coming out. We've already just had one attempt there for Bradford. Could there be one down the other end for Hull? As it was the number 17 of Bradford who's tried to catch it, Ed Chamberlain. But unfortunately, when he tried to spin around, the ball was coughed up. So here we go. The set of 6 now coming. Lasoni gets brought down inside of the 30 for the first tackle for Bradford. Now 6 minutes remaining in what has been a brilliant matchup of this. But both teams leaving it out all on the field. Second tackle now, just shy of the 30. Now this will be the third one. And it's Liam Knight who gets just past Hull's 40. And Lasoni now burrows through halfway now. Fourth tackle for Hull. They need a big tackle if they want to get a shot at a possible golden point. Big appeals for a penalty. For a possible high shot. Nothing given. 30 out. Last tackle here for Hull. And it's an attempt by Caesar. And it's not high enough and it will go out for a 20-metre restart. But hang on, a challenge is coming from Hull. Now they're saying Caesar's claiming that it was charged down, and he's going to use his challenge to see if it is going to be resulting in a goal line dropout for Bradford. This will be interesting to sell if they're able to be told from the review. So Caesar has claimed that the... I don't know if it does. It needs to be a proper good angle to probably review this, but if it's not, it's going to be a 20-meter restart. Is a touch done by a... Yeah, it doesn't look like it takes a deviation, so they just want to make sure here, but at this current point, it looks like it's going to be a 20-meter restart and a 7-tackle set for Bradford. You can't tell if it's touched him. They need Snicko because the English love Snicko, especially after the Ashes series. Does it make a deviation? Yeah, there's a clear gap. There's nothing that would have touched it, because it would have, if it did hit the charging Bull player, it would have, I don't think it would have even gone out on the full. Or does it hit his hand there? They're looking at this. This could be where it shows, because it is going on. Oh, you don't know. So unfortunately, the challenge is inconclusive of all available angles, meaning that it's still going to be a 20-meter restart and a 7-tackle set, but Hull will get their review back. So here we go. A 7-tackle set now incoming. Now 5 minutes remaining in this matchup. Could this be the position where it gives Bradford the place on the field to get a field goal? Because I believe it was around this point in the match where York got their field goal to get the win over Hull Kingston Rovers. And there's been an incorrect play of the ball. And this is a huge moment in this match. Hull will get the ball 25 metres away from the try line. This is a big moment. He tries to go up to play the ball and he bobbles it slightly. And here we go. 4.5 minutes remaining in this game. Hull with ample field position and a big chance to get the lead. So here we go. 30 metres out. Full set of 6. What can Hull do? They'll spread the ball now to the left-hand side is Price. And Price will get brought down almost at the 20-metre line for the first tackle. They've got to just try to get as close to the line as possible and go for a field goal to make it 21-20. So second tackle there, 25 away. Almost run up the guts here. Third tackle, they're just 15 away from the try line here, Hull. There's no passes out to the wing. They're setting it up. Big carry there. 5 metres away from the try line now. Fourth tackle. Is this the one where they do it? No. Run from dummy half, as it's the number 9 of Burra. He gets brought down 5 short. Now here we go. Last tackle. They're going to fling it out for a drop goal. They've flinged it back twice. Here's the kick. And he's got it. 3.5 minutes remaining. It's Will Price who has been instrumental in Hull getting in this position. And now 3.5 remaining. Hull will need to defend for the rest of the match, of course. But they'll probably have to have 2 sets at max to deal with. But now Hull take the lead with the 1-point lead. Will Price pings it. It's just a great kick. So here we go. It's probably going to be a short kick as well here by Bradford. And it's a short kick. And it's taken safely there by Litton. He gets brought down on the 30 for the first tackle. And Hull, they've got nothing else to do. They just need to play it simple and not give away a mistake. So here we go. They just set the 30 here for the second. And Lasoni will get some post-contact meters. And will get brought down just shy of halfway. As we've now got 3 minutes remaining in this matchup. At the 17 now, Liam Knight. 45 away now inside of Bradford's half. And there's a run up in the middle there of the number 10 for Harvey Hill. Now the last tackle, just about 2.5 minutes remaining. There's the kick to the right. And the ball is a mass confusion here. It's batted backwards, and it might be a knock on by Hull. They're going to have to look at this, but it's going to be given a goal line dropout for Bradford. Unfortunately, no challenge available here for Bradford because they lost it earlier in the match. But yeah, here we go. This is where the question: do Bradford risk it and get a short dropout to possibly get possession, or do you just have to boot it? So we've now got about 2 minutes and 15 seconds remaining in this match. They've tried to go somewhat short, and Hull get the ball 20 metres away from the line. Also, just go for another field goal while you're at it. It's just, you get possession of the ball back. I think it's the right idea. So second tackle now for Hull. They're 15 metres away from the try line. Honestly, just keep going it up the middle and honestly go for another field goal, and you should be able to avoid Bradford from getting the ball. Knight 15 away now. Still now third tackle. Still going one upman's. It's Knight. Offload, trying to get a try out. Could this be the job? That's it! It's the number 14 of Kickoff, and that will get the job done for Hull. It's 25-20 with a kick to come, but that should do it with about 90 seconds remaining. You just need to get that conversion, and it's right next to the post. So that should get the job done for Hull. Still very combative side there from Bradford, but it's just going to be Hull in what's been a pretty even matchup, as Hull will squeeze past to get the job done and get an opening round win. There we go, Cade Cust getting the try. But a brilliant offload there by Liam Knight as well to set that up. There we go. So there we go, try confirmed in the background. I mean, there was nothing wrong with the try at all, but that could probably give the suggestion of it being taken away. But now we're getting into the last minute as the Hull fans start giving it the biggins to the travelling Bradford supporters. As Will Price now instrumental in this match. 4 from 4 from the tee. This to make a 5 from 5 to make it 27-20 as we enter the final minute of this match. And this will basically put it out of reach for a very resilient Bulls side. And the kick is successful. 27 points 20, as we're probably going to have about 50, less than 50 seconds in this matchup. And it'll just honestly be Hull just chewing up as much as the clock as possible. Could mean even still, if Bradford get the ball and score a try, they still are 2 points down. Or 1 point down, sorry. Forgot maths for a second. So here we go. It's going to be an attempted short kick by Bradford. And I think it's not even going to get the 10 metres. And it's going to be a penalty to Hull. But yeah, I mean, it's been a great effort there by Bradford for getting this game. But just unfortunately, a couple of injuries. And this is where it comes into it. They had 2 penalties 10 metres out. And they decided to go for the 2. And you just got to think, maybe if they go for the try, those for 2 tries, they could be in front and having an opening round win. But 15 seconds remaining. Hull takes the tap on the 50, and they're just going to chew out the clock in the final 10 seconds. Well, it's been a brilliant matchup. Very even in a lot of parts of this, but it will be the faithful who get an opening round win as Hull win 27 points to 20 as the full-time siren goes. But it's been a brilliant match, but there you go, Will Price, very much instrumental in this Hull win. But I mean, it's just a really decent matchup. And I mean, pretty much really all the matches so far in the Super League have been bangers. It's just been really good to see. But there we go, Hull 27 points to 20 in that decisive win. Well, but there you go. So that is the end of that. So was initially thinking about doing the Wakefield Tula Olympic in about half an hour, but it's Simpan's messed up and I'm just too darn tired. So basically I'm going to be popping off to bed, but I will be able to do the NRL All-Star match, which is coming up, the Indigenous All-Stars versus the Maori All-Stars. Later on, I'll also be doing the pre-season challenge match between the Parramatta Eels and the Cronulla Sharks. So, yeah, but we'll be back next week with Super League as well as the World Club Challenge. It's going to be very exciting. Anyways, thank you all very much for joining me on this. It's been a pleasure.